Today we just had an even better day than the day before. It just blue skies for the whole day. No way could I avoid getting a ride in today, no matter what. Got all my errands done on the farm. Fed the cows, fed the chickens, cleaned the pond, got the spitters going, got the waterfalls going. So guaranteed it's going to freeze up tonight and I'm going to have to shut everything down. But it doesn't matter. I got a ride in. I rode past some of the lakes that are already unfreezing up north. Some of them are still frozen, some are not frozen. It's an eclectic ride this time of year. Still some salt on the road. When I got back from the ride, I had to clear everything up. And Karen graciously came out and said, "You know what? You look tired. I think I'll clean all the salt off the bike for you." Well, if I'm lying, my hair is going to turn gray or fall out, one or the other. Anyway, we had a wonderful day. I hope you enjoy sharing this day with us. So here we are in the middle of the craziest winter ever. Couldn't be any crazier than what we've just experienced. And we got a patch of it. Looks like we're going to have another couple of days of beautiful. It actually got up over 50 yesterday. Can you imagine? Over 50? Wow. But I like to think over 40, it's time to ride. Well, I'll take 50 even better. And today is supposed to be the same. Now another thing, this is the first year ever I've had to be able to ride on these slippery, salty, there's still leaves on the road, there's wet spots, there's actually ice spots when you get up north. Having the traction control and the ABS, I've had that traction control save my bacon so many times. I am really convinced that this has saved my bacon. Oink oink, it has saved my bacon. That and the Valentine radar detector. I don't know if I would still be riding if I didn't have the Valentine and I didn't have all of the safety features on this bike. So that's why I've been trying to ride the majority of time on these slippery roads with this bike. Especially yesterday, we hit those there's spots where the road is, you come around the corner and the road is white and that traction control just saves your bacon. And it's always the golden rule living in this part of the country. If it's over 40 degrees, you better ride, because it won't stay 40 long. We actually still have maybe a month or maybe even 2 months of who the hell knows what's happening, but we'll take these days whenever we get them. I've made the mistake many years in the past of thinking, well, you know, the good times will never end, and then winter comes, of course. And then I've made the mistake in the spring of thinking they're here, but there's always one snowstorm left. I haven't put the snowblower away yet. And then the next couple days, Vlad's going to be stopping by. I know he has the sprocket ready for this project, and that'll get this project moving along again. I can't wait to get this when the roads are a little cleaner. I don't want to go out on these salty roads with a bike that I just painted the wheels on. Sorry. And a bike with no traction. Talk about no traction control. Oh my God. Because that's the first bike I've had with traction control, I've really become a big believer on these slippery roads. And even last year in the middle of summer when the roads were much nicer, it really does save your bacon. And boy, I would just love to be able to put traction control on all the bikes. I know it's not practical. Sometimes they don't even make an aftermarket kit. And the aftermarket kits are just a lot more time and energy to install. But the one on the MT-09 is just a plug and play. Oh, early in the morning like this, the birds are chirping, the church bells are chiming, and the weather's coming up. It's already over 40 degrees. Time to go. Yesterday after the ride, I spent so much time getting the salt off of this bike. I want to just make a final check. Not a cloud in the sky. Supposed to go to the high 40s, low 50s. What could be better? So coming into the shop, I can see the projects are all drying up under the heating vent, and we still have the heat on, of course. A couple extra days under that heating vent. I certainly don't want to put the wheel together while the paint is soft. And actually Joe's parts are going to be ready for the final sand out, 2000 grit and buffing. I've got to get another tube of a jar of 8065 and a couple of new buffing pads, and we'll be ready to finish that part of that job off, and Joe can put the bike back together. Now, what I did last year, and it worked out pretty well, I got the pumps started earlier than normal, and it worked out to my favor. We never really had a terrible algae bloom, but because of the spike in temperature, we've already got the beginning of an algae bloom. And there's not much snow left. Even a Volkswagen, all the snow is gone. This is the last of the snow, I hope. Well, it's not going to be long, and we're going to be having our morning coffee out here and listening to the birds chirp. One more cup of coffee and we'll be ready for the open road. This is such a nice thing while the coffee's brewing, just to gaze out the window at the beauty of the MT-09. Some people love it, some people hate it. After you ride it, you'll love it. Well, the weather really cooperated today. Better than I ever thought. I just love that quick shift to more with every ride. And the temperature was stable. It got up into the 50s. This area had a little bit less salt on the road than yesterday. And still some snow on the sides of the road. That beeping was telling me a cop was about a mile away coming down the road. That radar detector works even when a bike's not moving. It's funny, some of the lakes are melting up, but not all of them. And some of the places still have piles of snow. And all during this ride, I was just wondering, spring is in the air. But that doesn't mean it can't snow anymore this winter. But this ride got us out of the house. Oh, just great to be out. And we wound up going to the Dixon Homestead. This is a really, really scenic, I think a really special area. Nice photo op. There's a little waterfalls. In the summer, you can walk out there and take take pictures of right by the waterfalls. This is a really, really nice area. And it's less than a mile from my house. Makes for a perfect winter ride. Because the roads in this area, they seem to be a lot nicer than the roads further north. But even here, there's still snow in the open fields. And there's still salt from place to place. You never know where. Now, but it won't be long and the roads will be clear and dry. And before I left, Karen told me tomorrow's supposed to be a mirror image of today. And my goal, as always, ride every day it's above 40 degrees. And I have to admit, I kind of like riding in the winter. I'm getting used to this cold weather. What a beautiful day for a ride, baby. Hey, you even matched the bike. Do I have to pay extra for that? Stand by the bike. So instead of Ugly Windy, we get the lovely Mrs. Ertnowski. Thank you, healthcare workers. Did you dress up just for this bike day or what?
I did not.
I had to replace the sound on this part of the video. A jet flew overhead and you couldn't hear anything. So I do want to thank the healthcare heroes. You guys have done a great job of keeping my family safe and me too. And for everybody that endures watching these videos, thank you guys so much. Hope you enjoy sharing our adventure. So after a nice day out on the open road, we went over to see our two children, Miles and Buddy the puppy. Miles, are you wrestling with him? Oh, he's coming. Ah! Buddy. Buddy, we're here to see you. You're supposed to be warm and friendly. Hey, it's my hand. Hey, razor teeth. What's that razor teeth? Hey, that's better. That's the better grade of dog. That's it. Razor teeth. I'm delicate, you know.
Buddy, good.
Wow, he's low. What a well-behaved dog. Oh my God.
Sit.
So well-behaved.
Oh.
Ah! Now, before I end this video, there's some wonderful memories of the A-Team. On a day that we went up to Bob NEVOLAS to work up there on a snowy day, and we had a great adventure with his VFR. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but this turned out to be quite an adventure. And it's good to take a break from our projects that we're working on. At this point in time, we're working on the wheels, the front wheel for the R1. We still have a lot of projects left to do this. This winter is a long winter and it's just started. And it's nice to know at this time of year to look back at these memories. I love plugging in these little memories about the warm summer days when we were bitching and moaning about how hot it was. Well, nobody will be doing that today. And just to keep everything in perspective, if you live in a warm weather climate,
About 2 months of the year we have to deal with this. I have to because I have a fish pond. The pond wants to freeze over. You have to cover up all your lawn furniture. Oh, the fun never ends. But we're headed up to Bob's. So we finally arrive at Bob's. What? This is what makes this trip worthwhile. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the smile on his face. This is what makes this day worthwhile. Come on, grab those cookies. I got the steamer in the back. He breaks my car in half. Ay. What a day. You should see it snowing by me. Holy mackerel.
My jackets. I always wanted a place to hang my jackets.
Yeah, you're like a gentleman now. Instead of living in a cave or whatever we do.
Well,
Yeah, you got the garage set up nice now. That's really nice.
Yeah.
You know, what I did last night, I went through a bunch of the old videos where we were working and setting your garage on fire, and Glenn was in mode, and look at those cookies. Oh, don't go away with those cookies. So what we got to do today, you got a, what's the deal? You got a center stand for this?
Yeah, I got a center stand. The bike didn't come with one when it was.
Okay.
So I got a center stand and all the requisite hardware. Now, the issue is not so much of installing it. You actually got to drop the front headers.
Well, it's no big deal.
No, and that's actually the part that I'm up at.
Okay, yeah, well, you got a lot of it apart already. Okay.
You know,
This all comes apart, believe me.
Yeah, this is all loose. You don't need to take it apart. But now I'm up to the point where I got to take the header bolts out.
Okay.
And then I got to take.
So you got, this is the old VFR here.
Right.
The old guy is, what is the prognosis here? Did you ever get the
Well, I mean, I got it.
the electrical thing is charging and everything?
Yeah, I beat the shit out of the battery last year.
Yeah,
So,
he set one of my batteries on fire. That was a funny video. Why are we laughing? Okay, so I love the wheels on this bike. This is beautiful wheels.
Yeah.
And the single swing arm always looks nice.
well, it's only nice now because the exhaust is off. It comes right here. So you can't.
Well, you still got the stock exhaust on here, right? While we got it off, let's turn it into a windy exhaust. Give me a broomstick, we'll get those baffles out of it.
Oh yeah, well it's right here. So,
Yeah, the wheels are real nice. While I'm working on wheels, I'm being, boy, they are nice. The whole bike is nice. You made a good choice here.
yeah, I'm
That's a nice bike.
I mean, there's a lot of choices to make, but I've been loving VFRs now for.
What's not to like? And they're reliable as a stone.
Yeah.
They're like that 650 Kawasaki. You can't break them.
Parts. All right. Springs, actually bolts.
This all comes in the kit?
This all comes in the kit.
Okay.
It's all part of the kit.
Oh my God, there's a lot of stuff going on this bike.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, this is radically different than my old bike.
This is way different than the old one. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, so it's my guesstimation here that it's going to be attached to this boss here and another one on the other side.
And what do they want you to do? They want you to drop the exhaust system?
Drop, yeah, of course. So according to everybody that's done this online, there's one bolt.
All right, so for anybody with a VFR mounting up one of these kits, it looks like the issue is that this bolt, the reason you have to drop the exhaust is this bolt to get it started, the exhaust is in the way. Well, we're going to try to, well, we hope we don't have to, but we'll give it our best shot anyway. But if you look up in there, to get that bolt in, this header is in the way, kind of in the way, but it's only that bolt.
Right.
The other side is
That's it there.
all right, you give me the parts. Well, if you read the directions, anybody can do this stuff. You got to do this without, you got to throw this away the day it comes in a minute. Yeah, look, let's not read that. Now let's work on the motorcycle. Well, we wound up cutting a bolt to the size, but it's very difficult getting your hands in it.
I
You
got
it
it
in?
to stick.
Okay,
But you're gonna have to fix
now you
those.
tighten it with
Yeah.
the wrench.
14. Because that'll fix the thread.
It'll fix the.
That'll
I
fix
think
the
that.
thread.
Yeah, well, it didn't fix the thread, but I think that first thread is just boogered
It
up.
is, it is.
Because the bolt they give you
It's
is too
definitely-
long and it boogered up. It was on an angle. It
Yeah.
didn't fix the first thread. Okay.
What's up? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Next time, just buy a bike with a center stand.
Hey, happy New Year!
You know that working hard?
Turbo Steve's here. Yay!
Hey, Steve.
Oh, the VFR. Here's the tip if you have a VFR. The bolt on this side is a reverse thread, and the bolt they give you is a reverse thread bolt. So we don't have a spare reverse thread bolt, so we absolutely are going to have to take the exhaust system and lower it down. So listen, of course, not mentioned at all in the directions, not one word in the directions. If you have a VFR, you basically are going to have to take the exhaust system off to get the reverse thread bolt in that side, because this is totally in the way.
So what you're
And
saying
there's
is,
no way to do that
if you
without
have a
getting out of part.
VFR, you're reverse screwed.
You're reverse screwed, exactly. You're screwed to the left and screwed to the right. Let's start pulling the radiator off. Okay, so to do this, we loosened the front cylinders. Now we got to take this, which disconnects the back 2 cylinders.
Right.
That'll allow us to drop this down, and then you're reverse screwed.
Reverse screw.
Never read those directions. The one thing in the directions you need to know, they don't tell you.
Loosen this end up here. This over
Oh,
here. and
my
take
God.
This off.
So another one, 12 part. To get the last of the bolt, not only can't get this bolt off, the other bolt is behind this, which is behind the foot peg, so this whole unit has to come off to get the last bolt out. Oh my God. You know, this is why they didn't win the war. You know, a Jap Zero would go into the ocean and you couldn't replace anything. They were all reverse threads.
You have to take it off.
So after what, 4 hours to get the exhaust system, and this whole thing is so we can get in at this reverse threaded bolt. So okay, VFR owners of the world, you bought these bikes, have fun putting this on.
Hurry up, we're 2 laps behind.
Yeah, here's the problem. Once you get this bolt on, we want to put the exhaust right back on. I don't want to have this thing flopping around here.
I don't think it'll fall. It's pretty.
Look at this. Jack Daniels invented this exhaust. Steve, look at how your Visione has something like this.
No, you kidding?
Man, this looks a lot like the one in Glenn's Ducati. It like a bunch of snakes that were having sex or something. Look at this exhaust. I can't even tell where it goes. It's like a shop vac gone wild. Holy moly. Anyway, we did get it off. So
We did get it off.
we did. Look at this rubber hammer. We call this the Mapo rubber hammer. You hit something and it look at what happened to his rubber. I know what to buy you for Christmas next year.
Next year. My birthday's coming.
You know what? This is a wife beater. This is strictly for beating.
No, that's a husband beater.
Maybe that's why it's so soft.
He's gonna
Okay,
go.
the hardest part was
Here.
prying this over to get the washer that only centers up here, which looks like these guys what they got on that side. This is the most involved kickstand job ever. But the A-team has stepped up to the plate and struck out once again. Look at this. All this for a center stand. Wow, it's coming together though.
10 over here. Yeah, it's at a 10. So it's a 12. I was right the first time.
You were right.
Oh,
Right the first time.
Well, it's 14.
First thing in those directions, you see the first page, it says, do not attempt to do this unless you have 4 qualified people to help you.
Yeah, I got a 12.
Where are we going to get 4 qualified people? So we've all taken a little coffee break, and look, we've got about, I'm going to guess, a ½ inch of snow. They said we're going to get a couple inches. Anyway, the view from this is Bobby's garage. His wife has a beautiful garden, a gazebo where we've often had coffee after a ride. And we came here in the rain one day and just sat there till it stopped raining. But the A-team never quits. The one thing, we don't have a lot of talent, but we got a lot of energy, and we're putting it to use today. We will not quit. Reverse thread bolts, no directions, doesn't matter. We are the A-team. Well, that should be easy.
I think everything is downhill.
Everything's easy. Oh yes, very easy. Yeah, that's
saying easy all day. Since
yeah.
the minute they walk
It's
in.
easy.
It's been easy all day.
I don't know if this is going to hurt VFR sales or help VFR sales.
Well,
I don't think anything can hurt them. They're hurting as it is. I mean, it's
Now the next step is going to be when he's done over there with the spring plate to get this back up, hooked to the
should we
back,
actually torque it?
and hooked up to the front. And it's going to be a thrill to get the nuts on those headers. It's going to be a real thrill.
Spring hand.
rule of thumb, if you ask a question, go on the safe side and torque it.
Well, it doesn't tell you spring hook, 10 millimeter flange bolt, 10 millimeter special bolt.
Special bolt.
Dark specs, just put some Loctite on it and call it a day.
You ready to put the spring on now?
Well, we're gonna put the exhaust on first.
And then put that on last?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, you already got the detent in the right spot. That's in the right spot, right?
right. Yeah, this
Okay.
basically now, this little spot here is gonna connect to this spot here.
With the spring?
With the spring.
double spring?
And
Okay.
then we're done. Then we just gotta.
You want to put the exhaust system back on?
Yeah,
Just to get it out of the way? Okay.
Right.
Just like on any spot, even on a wheel, you put a little bit of wheel bearing grease or any thick grease.
Yeah, I'm right on the border
And
of
the
white.
grease, if you put enough, the grease will burn up
Piece
right
of my
away. You don't
backyard
have to
is
worry.
white.
No.
And I'm gonna grease in here. I already put some in there. And some on here, hopefully, that we're gonna get that to slide on without a big deal.
Okay, 5% for the white coat?
Oh,
It's
no,
not gonna
no,
hurt
no,
it
no.
either way.
It's all about him.
Where's the flashlight over there?
Yeah, I got it. I just saw it.
Oh, here, right in front of me.
Yeah, you wanna get those two sides up first, and I'll get mine last.
All right, does that look okay to you?
See anything?
Move your,
Oh, yeah, it's gonna stay, yeah.
You got the nuts caught on that now? Because once you get the nuts caught, then you gotta line this up.
That's
And this has to get into these two joints. You got your nuts on? Just,
my nuts are secure.
your nuts are secure, all right. We got a lot of secure nuts around.
And actually, we can see from this side better than you guys can.
So the final step here, when this is loose, front is just bolts are loose in the back. The only realistic way, a rubber hammer doesn't even do this, you gotta use a car jack to get this, to push this up into position up here. We don't know if that's gonna be the way we want it yet, but that's I don't see any other way you could do this.
And just does this. Doesn't move.
Okay, so all of
That's why
those
he
are
has that
torqued
open there.
now. Exhaust system's back on. You just gotta put the spring on that kickstand and take the car jack out.
We'll make that take the longest amount of time. That way.
And this is the main thing. Now, look at this. A-Team food.
Fueled by,
Fueled by cookies. But the truth be known, the only guy that had enough strength to pull that spring is... Da-da-da-da.
That's why they call them turbo.
He turboized it. Yeah, that's a bitch to get that on. All right, Robert, you gotta put the muffler on next, right? Where's the muffler?
Oh, well, no, radiator.
Oh, the radiator, yeah.
Radiator.
Okay, after a final, oh, look at the size of this muffler.
All right.
What the hell, that's a terrorist tool. Holy shit, you could take that to Iraq.
Vacuum cleaner that size.
Yeah, I
Like
would.
Sherlock's.
Did you ever see, look at this, how heavy is that? Did you weigh it?
No, but it's got to weigh at least 15, 20 pounds.
Holy, no wonder guys.
Oh, yeah. Leave it
Oh
off.
my
man.
God, just
Yeah, leave it
start it without the muffler, be a man.
Yeah, right.
I don't have any of those on my
I
bikes.
don't have any hearing as it is.
You take a victory lap here before you start it up, so
yeah, around the garage.
right out. How much is the snow out there? Wow, it's probably, it's snowing good now. Can't even see the cars anymore. I'd say that's a pretty successful day, don't you think?
Well, we haven't started it yet.
Well,
Starting it is not a problem.
if it,
Oh, wait, I got to put this.
here's where you know it's success, when all these cookies are gone. We won't put that on video. What's left? You got to put some more connectors on there or anything?
Yeah, this is the one where they, made you put a connector on where they really didn't have to take it apart.
Bob, I got to tell you something. You've put the A-Team to their test with this.
Well, yeah.
Every time I see this
That's why
bike-
they called the 18. There was
Eh.
all the people who could do it.
Every time I see this bike on a center stand, I'm gonna be proud of you.
While you're
This
talking,
is my cookie.
This is the lovely baker here.
The lovely baker. Come on.
take credit.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, between Nanda and Karen, we're gonna gain weight today. This is what cookies look like before you eat them.
Wow.
Starts right up.
Yeah, so right now, pull the choke.
Yeah, it comes up off the ground the right amount.
It's understandable.
Well,
Now,
Bob,
this is
there aren't many jobs. I'm this glad that they're done. I'm glad this one is done.
Now this is where, this is how I would operate. I would literally pull the bike in. I have the ramp already on the
Right.
thing. I would roll it up and
Put the center stand down, yeah.
And then
and
put
put
the
it,
front.
and then it's done for the day.
Then the
And
rear
then I
you
can,
want.
oil chain or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, it's really handy having a center stand. Well, in the time we were at Bobby's, it looks like about 6 inches of snow fell, and we're trying to clean off the cars. Everybody's got to get their car shoveled out now. But a day like today, you really, I don't know, you really find out who your friends are, that's for sure. Wow. Yeah, everything's pretty well frozen up. We're actually inside the car. Makes you proud to be an American, doesn't it? Anyway, Bobby did get his bike totally the way he wanted it. We steam cleaned it. We demoed the steam cleaner on that really rusty bike he had, and hey, we just had a great time. It's about as good as it gets. Look at this guy. Proud to be an American. Proud to be a snowblower. Can I have wax with that, sir? Boy, this is all you see on the ride home. Wow. What a mess. Normally this ride would take about an hour. I have a feeling it's going to take a lot longer. Well, we did get home from Bobby's that day, and that was one of the more memorable A-team adventures we had years ago, and I have never forgotten any of them. One of the things helps me is I have them all on video, and just getting together for an adventure like that and having some fattening cookies and then having to get stuck in the snow on the way home. I do remember getting home was a real challenge. It took me about an hour and a half to do a half-hour ride. But anyway, that's what makes life worth living. That's what makes us the invincible A-team of long ago, and why we live on in infamy. So I hope you did enjoy the video. And guys, if you have a VCR, that's good information. And most of all, as I always say, thank you so much for watching.